Title: We didn't order for you, my wife said, as she and her friends dug into $1,000 steaks on her birthday. I sat there with an empty plate. My wife's sister smirked. You should have packed snacks. I stared at the empty plate in front of me, white, clean, mocking. My wife and her friends were already digging into their $1,000 steaks, thick, glistening cuts dripping with buttery juices, laughing, toasting, pretending I didn't exist. Her sister leaned toward me with a smirk. You should have packed snacks. I stared at the empty plate in front of me, white, clean, mocking. My wife and her friends were already digging into their $1,000 steaks, thick, glistening cuts dripping with buttery juices, laughing, toasting, pretending I didn't exist. Her sister leaned toward me with a smirk. You should have packed snacks. I stared at the empty plate in front of me, white, clean, mocking. My wife and her friends were already digging into their $1,000 steaks, thick, glistening cuts dripping with buttery juices, laughing, toasting, pretending I didn't exist. Her sister leaned toward me with a smirk. You should have packed snacks. She said loudly, enough for the entire table to hear. My wife didn't defend me. Instead, she added another jab. We didn't order for him. He can decide what he wants, if he can afford it. The waiter hovered nearby, uncomfortable but silent. That silence stabbed more than their words. I just smiled. Good to know, I murmured. When the waiter came back, I lifted my eyes to meet his. Calm, dead calm. I whispered something to him. He nodded and walked away quickly. They didn't notice. They were too busy celebrating my wife's birthday, apparently. I wasn't invited to the joy, just the humiliation. Good. That made things easier. Once, she looked at me with love. We were college sweethearts. We planned futures over cheap pizza and dreams. I worked 2 jobs so she could finish her degree. She promised me forever. And for a while, I believed her. Then things changed. Little comments, hidden smirks, nights out she didn't bother to explain. Her phone always face down. I told myself it was stress. I told myself love was enough. But the night she giggled at a message from Emma and accidentally showed a masculine hand in the selfie, I stopped lying to myself. Emma wasn't a woman. The truth didn't just hurt, it hardened. I dug quietly. I found dating profiles, hotel receipts, pictures, voice messages, and bank transfers she thought she hid. Her girls' nights were with a man who texted her things she used to say to me. The betrayal cracked something in me, clean and sharp. And once a crack forms, it spreads. I didn't confront her. No, I planned. I met with attorneys discreetly. I gathered proof, every disgusting detail. She had unknowingly broken the prenup she insisted we sign, ironically, to protect herself. Just a precaution, she had said with a laugh. Turns out, that document would be her coffin, financially at least. Quietly, I had her removed from my accounts, her access revoked. My salary, my company, my house, already covered. All I needed was one last betrayal, public, documented. Tonight offered the perfect stage. The waiter returned, not with food, but with a bill, a glorious tall stack of numbers. Her friend's laughter cut off. "What's this?" one asked. The waiter placed it carefully in front of my wife. "Per your husband's request," he said, "the full birthday feast will be charged to the card used for the reservation." My wife frowned. "That's his card." The waiter shook his head. It was. The reservation was updated this morning. He gestured to my wife. "It's all under her name now." Panic flickered through her eyes. "What? No, no, run his card." I interrupted. Calm, cold. She doesn't have access to my cards anymore. As of yesterday, she has access to absolutely nothing of mine. Her sister barked, "You can't just do that." "Oh, I can," I replied, sliding a folder across the table. Its contents spilled slightly. Photos, statements, betrayal painted in ink. My wife's face drained of color. "I know about him," I said. "Your little hotel adventures. The gifts you bought using my money. The lies." Her friends shifted uncomfortably. I leaned closer, voice low. "You shoved me out of your life a long time ago. Tonight, I'm just returning the courtesy." She looked at me like I was the villain. "How could you do this?" she whispered, trembling. I smiled, almost gently. "You made it easy." I stood up slowly, pulling out a freshly signed divorce packet. "This is going to the court tomorrow. Given the prenup and your adultery," I tapped the pages lightly, "you walk away with nothing, not even the car." Her mouth opened, but no words came out, just jagged breaths. I continued, "I paid for the meal, by the way." I pointed at the food in front of her. "For you all to enjoy." Then I pointed to my empty plate. I just didn't order for myself. The realization hit them like a punch. This wasn't dinner. This was checkmate. Her friends avoided her eyes. Her sister stared at me with disbelief. The waiter returned one last time, this time with a gift box. "For the lady," he said. She opened it with shaky fingers. Inside was the necklace she bought for her lover, now cut into glittering fragments. The table gasped. I put a hand on her shoulder briefly. "Happy birthday." She flinched like the touch burned. I walked out without looking back. I didn't need to see her cry. I didn't need the applause. Justice doesn't require an audience. Outside, the night air tasted clean, like freedom earned, like pain repaid. I exhaled a year's worth of poison in one breath. She thought she had destroyed me. She only sharpened me. I gave her what she gave me. Nothing. And as I left her behind in that restaurant, with the wreckage of her lies and a bill she could never pay, I finally felt full. Not of food, of peace. Because some meals are meant to be served cold.